First News with Keeler in the morning on WIBX and WIBX950.com.
Hey guys, time to get in on the action for the biggest moments in basketball with Prize Picks, America's #1 fantasy sports app. Just select 2 or more players, pick more or less on their projections, place your entry, and win up to 100 times your money. Right now, Prize Picks will match your first deposit of up to $100. Just download the Prize Picks app and use the code GET100. That's code GET100 on Prize Picks for a first deposit match of up to $100. Prize Picks. Pick more. Pick less. It's that easy.
On the line right now is Sheriff Rob Maciol. We have a lot, and there's even more talk of the infrastructure stuff going on. We have a lot of construction happening. Mm-hmm. And that means, these construction workers are out on the road, in the road, near the road. Got to be careful out there.
It still amazes me how many people speed through a work zone, or we had incidents last year of people attacking or assaulting construction workers.
Because of delays. Yeah. Operation Hard Hat. And also this is National Teachers Week. Sheriff Rob Maciol, good morning.
Good morning. How are you guys today?
Good. This is National Teachers Week. This is National Nurses Week. And it's also
National Correction Officers Week.
Yeah, so it's a big week. Why is it, can't we spread these things out for
I know.
these key individuals?
All 3 of those professions deserve their own week. Let's be honest.
That is correct.
I agree. It's just that I think, especially during the past year and a half, we've found that there are a lot of people who have important jobs.
Yes, I know.
Covering a lot more additional career paths that need recognition. But all great, honorable careers you just mentioned. And, again, what we're trying to do is, across the country, set a week aside. It was actually established by President Ronald Reagan. The first week in May has been set aside to recognize correction officers and Employees Week, because, again, we have many employees at the Sheriff's Office that are assigned to the Corrections Division, but they may not be correction officers. We have a full medical staff at our facility that works with the inmates every day, our food staff, our mental health staff, of course, our clerical staff. I mean, they're paying the bills. And so there's a lot of people inside that correctional facility, just ours alone, not to mention the hundreds of them across the state and across the country that need recognition.
This week and every week also, by the way, is National Unemployment Week. You stay home and celebrate, and you'll make more on your couch than you will at the office. So.
It's National I Make More on Unemployment Week.
I mean, we're currently running more than 4 dozen vacancies at the correctional facility. We just can't get people to take the exam. I mean, when I first became the sheriff, we had probably 200 plus people taking a civil service exam.
Yeah.
This past notice that everyone, including you guys, helped us push out. We had 49 people sign up to take this exam. I mean, 49 people to take the exam for 50 positions that are open. I mean, it's obviously even this round we're not even going to come close to filling our vacancies.
I don't, which means I have to say, which means we should be even more so honoring correction officers this week who worked during the pandemic, teachers who worked during the pandemic, and nurses who, of course, worked during the pandemic. I mean, all the more reason to be honoring these 3 groups of people.
Absolutely. And in our case, with our corrections officers, I mean, because of our vacancies and because of this COVID situation, the folks at the state prison system, docks, it's a little more challenging to get our state-ready inmates in there. So we are running a higher population in our jail today than we were 2 years ago because we have 60-plus inmates that are state sentenced that we couldn't get shipped into the state prison facility. So between my vacancies, a higher inmate population temporarily, what it's caused is people to be held over 12 hours, 16 hours. You go to work in the morning and you don't know if you're coming home till 11 tonight because if there's not enough shift coverage, we've got to hold people over. And so definitely they need recognition without a doubt. Without a doubt.
All right, and let's talk about one of the busiest careers out there right now. And if you're looking for a job in the construction industry, there are plenty of them out there, and there's a lot of construction going on. Talk about Operation Hard Hat.
Sure. As you guys were talking in your opening there, the past couple of years, we have seen across this entire country, a significant uptick in the amount of construction workers getting injured and killed by motorists on construction sites. As you mentioned, a lot of frustration. People have like zero patience right now. I mean, if they've got to wait a couple of minutes, they're screaming at the flag men or flag women, giving them obscene gestures, having things thrown at them, you name it, and it's happened. And it's happening here locally. So joining with the State Department of Transportation, and actually the commissioner herself came out last week. But last week we kicked off our partnership with the state on Operation Hard Hat. So basically, last week was the kickoff week, but this is something we're going to be doing randomly throughout the construction season in many of the hotspot construction zones. You're actually going to have, whether it's New York State troopers, deputy sheriffs, local law enforcement, they're going to be mixed in with the construction workers, watching for violators so that the construction workers can focus on the job. And there'll be chase cars, in both directions so that we can capture these obvious violators. Now, here's the thing. I mean, we want to educate people. We educate people as much as we can. We hold press conferences. We do informational sessions. But some people, just aren't getting it. And our construction zone that we worked on 5 in Kirkland last week with DOT, we stopped a lot of cars. Many of them were released with a warning. Others weren't. But it's just frustrating. And I was there for about 45 minutes, and it's amazing the speed that these cars are going through. Mm-hmm. People talking on the phone. It almost seemed like every third car, someone was on a phone. It was whether talking on a phone or head down texting while they're going through, a barricades and cones, with a lane change. And it was blowing my mind what I was seeing. And we don't want to do that. But in order to keep these people safe, I mean, we're not getting much of a choice, and it's just frustrating because we try to do our best without going to the enforcement mode. But when people's lives are on the line, and we've had construction workers killed in this county just recently in the past few construction seasons, so it's real and it's here. And unfortunately, this is one of the ways we have to control it.
Yeah. It is a problem. There's no doubt about it. And where I see it a lot is over there by 12. The 1285, the bridge replacement. Traffic is just flying through there.
Exactly. Now, the day before we were set to do ours last week, I was actually in Albany for a meeting with the Sheriff's Association. We were watching the TV before our meeting started, and there was a bad accident on the Northway in the Capital District where 2 construction workers were struck. 2 cars were racing to merge into, or 2 lanes were merging into one at a construction site. 2 cars were racing to get ahead of one another. They collided, and one of them got thrown to the side and hit 2 construction workers. And as of the other day, one was still in critical condition fighting for his life. So, I mean, this is someone's mother, father, husband, wife, brother, sister. I mean, seriously, we've got to slow down on these work sites. We've got to give these people some courtesy and patience. They're just doing
their job. All right, Sheriff. And guess what? If you're not worried about them, be worried about your pocket because you're going to get ticketed. Especially right now, you're going to end up with a ticket. So,
Sheriff, like I said, that's the last thing we want to have to do. The week before, we kicked off a farm safety. We had a farm safety press conference, and you guys did a story on that for us. Mm-hmm. The very next day, over in the town of Lee, we had a young driver, 20 years old, rear-end a piece of farm equipment. Luckily, nobody got hurt, but it's like that's what's frustrating for us. We try to do all these educational things and reminders, but people just aren't listening to us. They're just not.
Yeah. Sheriff Wayne calling in with the recommendation, put speed bumps in those work zones. That'll slow people down.
It does.
That would slow people down, but then we get the lawsuits when people's front ends come smashing off the cars.
Yep. And I do have to say, I think that the technology in cars is helping with this problem. It shouldn't have to, but it is helping with this problem, I think, today. But not everybody has all the technology in their car to have it assist. But it is helping, and I think in another 10 years it'll be more standard in vehicles.
I certainly hope so. I mean, one of the vehicles I drive, if I because I tend to hover to the right or hold to the right a little bit more than I should, and I keep getting this warning on the dashboard telling me verbally to go get a cup of coffee because I'm drowsy. But I'm not.
You're right.
It's technology that is helping, but human error is still the end all.
You got to be careful with this, Sheriff, because I have just convinced my wife that thing that keeps coming up on my dash is just automated. It pops up no matter what's going on. It's not anything. It is not looking at my driving. Maybe it is. maybe I'm
between,
swerving.
The speed bumps that have been cut into a lot of the roads, the little I guess you
rumble
could say
strips there.
Yeah, rumble strips. Yeah. There you go. I couldn't think of it.
Those are very helpful.
Things like that also make a big difference too.
Yep, I agree. Yep.
But
okay,
please, folks, slow down at these construction sites because, like I said, and you can see from our pictures on our Facebook page that we put up, we do have officers, embedded in with the construction workers. And I know some of my critics are not happy about that, but I don't know what my other options are. I mean, we've got to do our part to try to keep these construction workers safe.
What's the criticism? The criticism.
You're being deceitful.
They're calling it, they're basically saying we're setting people up. Well, that's not a setup. I mean, we're out there, we're out there, just embedded in with them to, I can't make myself visible because people, putting a car ahead, I don't think is going to do much of a difference anyways. I mean, speed trailers, we have several of them in the county. We put them out and that doesn't work. I mean, we've had people actually, we've cited when they see a speed trailer, they see how fast they can get that speed trailer to go up, how high the numbers go. And it's it's just unfortunate, but people don't realize we have cameras on those too. So we're capturing your plate at the same time,
Do we have cameras? Do we have cameras around here, like speed cameras?
There are. We have obviously the patrol cars have radars, but I'm not aware of any stationary ones. But several of the speed trailers do have cameras on them, so we're able to capture plate photos of plates, along with license plate readers that are on the police cars. I mean, we are able to capture plates that way also. But we've had we have documented people who've tried to, we've got it documented where they've tried to see how high that speed trailer would go. The same car would go by several times, each time getting it higher and higher, and until, like I said, we had to track them down and issue them a citation for that.
Yeah, what? Are you kidding me?
Did they know there was cameras on the thing? That is awesome.
God. All right. The world is crazy. Okay, Sheriff, thank you so much. We appreciate it.
Very good, guys. Have a great day.
You do the same.
Bye-bye.
You want to know the real? They're saying this is entrapment. Is that what they're saying? These are
or
which is ridiculous. There's a construction site. You have to slow down. They're simply there monitoring. But you want to know a real trap? This is a strategy. So the speed trap is set up at location 1. And you'll be like, God, I don't know what's going on. I mean, why would you be so out in the open? Now you go 2 miles down. This is the thruway thing. You go 2 miles down the road. That's where the hidden one is. Because you just stepped on it because you just went by a speed trap.
There's not another trooper for miles.
I got another 15, 20 miles, right? So you hit the gas, and then you get nailed.
Look, I think the worst is when they do it where you're coming down a hill. You know that, like if you're on the thruway or where you're driving a little faster and you're cresting a hill, and your vehicle has that momentum, and it.
Yeah, sure. Blame it on the momentum.
Well, no,
it's the momentum of your foot to the pedal.
Just when coming down a hill, a lot of times people don't brake; they just kind of coast. They just let the car roll, and it usually picks up speed. And I think that's a little tricky, a little deceptive.
There is all I can tell you is when they make you feel like you're comfortable, and then they hit you on the backside. That to me is it's a good strategy, right? The other one that kills me is when they're parked on the side of the road, so they look like a disabled vehicle. And you go flying by, and you're like, oh, what was I thinking? Because now I'm being pursued.
Even some of the, if you're not on a major highway but roads, you got to be careful. They'll park in businesses, and they'll be set back in, and they'll kind of hide themselves that way, too.
Yeah. All right.
Over in New Hartford, they do that.
Commercial drive, yeah.
Well, we appreciate what they do.
Yes, we
Just
do.
Don't do it to me.
I appreciate all the things they do, yeah, except for the writing me tickets stuff. Yeah.
Well, and this construction thing is a real problem. And I'm telling you, you are seeing traffic just fly through these construction sites. And if you think we're just getting into construction season, and then if they add this gazillion dollar infrastructure plan, you know what that means. We're going to be digging up stuff all over the country.
And they'll be needing the fine.
You're right, I guess. How do we pay for that?
Just as an advisory, too, when you're coming from Genesee Street to get on to go to 840, there's a stop sign for you before you can merge onto the highway. Just so people know, the stop sign is
from Genesee. From
so
where?
if you're going from where Cupola and Son, yes.
Okay.
You get on that way.
So coming down Middle Settlement Road.
No.
When
you go from...
Oh, you mean over by Yanandasas?
No, so this is Genesee Street where it goes
you mean
from
down by St. Luke's?
No.
Oh, you mean over by Utica College?
No.
Oh, you
South
mean
Utica meets New Hartford.
okay.
Where it goes under that bridge.
I see.
If you
Okay.
go on
Yeah,
that
yeah.
exit before instead of going straight to New Hartford, you take a right to get onto the highway. Get
Okay.
onto 8 to go to 840.
Got it. Okay.
There is a stop sign before you're allowed to merge onto the main highway. Use it. Okay? People, because people will be flying going on the highway and there's
I
a
see.
stop
So
sign there.
this is by the bridge and by the on-ramp over by One Jenny and Daylight Donuts.
Thank you. Yeah.
Boy, it took me a while to get there, Andrew.
Well, it's very confusing. There's
Yeah.
3 routes on that one bridge.
Don't you love it when people guess? They keep guessing before they're
Wrong!
really listening to what you're saying.
Wrong.
Wrong. All right, I got a break. I'm sorry for that.
Where is it again?
Shut it.
Hey guys, time to get in on the action for the biggest moments in basketball with Prize Picks, America's #1 fantasy sports app. Just select 2 or more players, pick more or less on their projections, place your entry, and win up to 100 times your money. Right now, Prize Picks will match your first deposit of up to $100. Just download the Prize Picks app and use the code GET100. That's code GET100 on Prize Picks for a first deposit match of up to $100. Prize Picks. Pick more. Pick less. It's that easy.